what we've been experiencing is that for deals that are, let's just call it 50 to 150, maybe we could argue up to $200 million in the Permian Basin. There is a from our perspective a pretty big universe of buyers in that kind of size range. And when you get involved in these, big marketed processes at that size level, it ultimately becomes, a pretty competitive process. And ultimately, I think our view, the house view at TPL, is that if you're the winner of a $100 million Permian Minerals package that was broadly marketed, that may not be a good thing. And so, where we've really tried to focus our time and our resources, which are very limited here, just given our lean headcount, is developing relationships with sellers, with families, who have reasonable thoughts and views and expectations on valuation, and spend time with them, and sit down and walk them through how we think about value and see if there's a deal to be done more on a bilateral basis. The seller of our most two recent minerals transactions, were folks who we knew well, who we developed a relationship with over time. They understood how we underwrote acquisitions. We understand how they viewed value. Not to say it didn't take several months and lots of back and forth in terms of negotiating ultimate price and size, but I think we found a lot of success going forward on acquisitions, using that kind of playbook as opposed to trying to be successful winning, large marketed processes. And so, as we step up to larger deal sizes, in excess of that, let's just say $200 million number, I think the universe of real credible buyers who don't have financing risk, who can deliver cash, really starts to shrink pretty considerably. And so that gives us another, obviously, advantage in that, we aren't having to compete with 50, 75 other buyers who have signed NDAs and who are doing work and who are submitting bids. And so that's why we like to, we think, from a value standpoint, when you're trying to underwrite Permian Minerals acquisitions to a kind of, let's call it mid-teens IRR, 2.5 to 3 times type of MOIC through the life of the asset, that is really, really difficult in this market when you're competing in a widely marketed type of process. So, there's more opportunity, better value, we think, in some of those larger packages.